Hey everyone, I'm here with two figures from Rampage the movie, and these are both Walmart exclusives, and I assume everything from this movie is going to be only sold at Walmart, similar to Skull Island last year. And these figures are definitely very similar looking to those kind of figures. I wasn't gonna get these until I started to look at them more closely, and I saw some people post some photos of them, and they look pretty good, and they are pretty large figures. So these were both $14.99 a piece, which is an amazing price, I think, for just the monster figure itself. Also comes with a little kind of soldier there, which I personally do not care for. I only picked this up for the monster. And on the bottom here you see it's Lizzie, who's I guess like this alligator type kind of mutation, and she has a really long tail that you even have to like clip on when you unbox this. And I'll give you a close-up of the soldier guy. But the other one is like a wolf mutation, and his name is Ralph. So he also comes with this little soldier figure, but the cool thing here is he has this little kind of like looks like a vehicle that's just been damaged. So that looks pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little diorama piece to include there. Unfortunately, the Lizzie figure doesn't come with one of those pieces unless it's hidden there. But this other one, it does come with that piece, which you could easily use for some other kind of purpose. I could definitely see trying to use that maybe with a Hulk or some other kind of like large character in the Marvel line, like Juggernaut, for example, or Abomination. So that's a pretty interesting piece, and I'm very curious to see what that really looks like out of box. Let me flip these around for you guys so you can have a better view and kind of get a better understanding of what kind of features are available here. And let me zoom in on the bio, and it looks like the bio is the same for both figures, so it's common. So if you want to read that, you just hit the pause button right now. So for subject Ralph, or Raph, I guess, looks like his mouth opens clearly, opposable legs, and he's ready to destroy. Lizzie has the same thing. He could open his mouth and he has some articulation. So I'm very excited to open these, and I'm gonna do that now. Looking at what's inside the box here, it looks like it's gonna take a while. I'm not gonna record me unboxing these, but it looks like there's a lot of straps I need to cut. So I'll be right back, and they'll be out of packaging. And here these are out of packaging. I do got to comment that the packaging, it's fairly easy to take it out, but just be warned, they use a ton of wire ties to kind of secure the monsters in place, and even these little mini soldiers as well, to an extent where it's a little extreme. But I mean, they're easy to come off, just as long as you have a pair of scissors or something to clip the wire ties off. It's not a big deal, but you definitely need to use something. You're not going to be able to just kind of yank this out of the box. You're going to need something to cut, whether it's scissors, nail cutters, or some other wire cutters. You're definitely going to need something to release this from its packaging. But once you get it out, it's pretty cool. I'm going to show you the wolf first, and it's not very heavy. It's very hollow. You could definitely get that sense, but the details are pretty well done. I am really loving how this looks. So I guess it's supposed to have a gimmick here with the chomping action. I haven't really figured out how it's supposed to function other than lifting its neck up and down, but you could see his mouth does open, and you could close it which means his neck kind of goes up. So the other cool thing about this is it actually has some articulation on its legs. So, and even its foot. So you could do some posing with this guy. The two front legs have this articulation. The back legs are just one kind of static piece. The tail looks like you could move that up and down. And originally I thought this is where the action feature came from, but it's not. So I'm not even sure what's the point of this, really. But if you wanted to, you can make this go up and down. There's some nice detail up top. It's just a very solid looking figure. I'm very surprised. But like I said, it is hollow inside, so it kind of makes sense why this was $14.99. I wish the Kong Island ones looked this good and were kind of like this large as well. I would have definitely picked some of those up. I might still do that. Some of those stuff have now gone on clearance at Walmart, so depending on how far that price drops, I definitely will pick some of those up. I think the cheapest I've seen them so far is $7 for like the similar kind of style box as what they're doing for Rampage, with like a spider and I forget what the creature was in that movie, but there was a couple different creatures. King Kong himself, the cheapest I've seen so far, is still $15, and there's actually a very similar looking kind of gorilla in the Rampage movie, and it looks like they use the exact same body mold, just with a different head. So I mean, I'm definitely not going to pick that guy up. That's definitely going to be something I wait for a clearance sale, but I do want to pick that up, as I do want to pick up the King Kong. I think that one goes more in scale with these guys, honestly. There is like another kind of a smaller scale of that character, and I didn't catch his name, unfortunately, but he comes in the same kind of packaging as these two, but he looks like really tiny in comparison. So I don't plan on picking that one up, but the larger scale one definitely kind of I'm just assuming it's probably gonna be more in scale with the movie, number one, and I think it just looks better in comparison to these guys, because otherwise it just looks kind of like a normal gorilla in comparison to these two, which are clearly mutated, just given how tall they are. But let me put this guy in the back. Let me show you the diorama, because he did come with a diorama. So it's just this little piece, and I guess this is supposed to be like a vehicle that just got smashed by him. You know, very hollow, nothing special. There's this other piece which I haven't figured out where it goes. I assumed it clipped on somewhere here, but I haven't found exactly where this is meant to go. But also comes with that, and this one soldier, which doesn't have really any articulation, which is kind of surprising. You could just move his hands up and down, but otherwise his legs are just one solid piece, and I'm a little surprised by that, considering the Kong Island ones weren't one single piece, and the other soldier in the Lizzie one, which I'll show you next, definitely has more articulation than this. But he does come with two weapons, and right now it's not wire tied, but it has those clear rubber bands holding them. So I'm gonna leave that in place for now. He has his belt clip, just hanging loose there. I'm not really sure why, but I'll put him to the side for now. And I want to give you guys a better look on the Lizzie character, which is massive. So the tail is just a piece you have to click on. Very simple, and you can see there's not really much there. You just you could move it ever so slightly back and forth. So nothing special there. Pretty decent paint on it. I mean, I mean, to me it looks good. Obviously it's probably not going to compare to how it looks in the movie, but... And here's its head sculpt. I'll open its mouth. And you can see its mouth opens wide, and it does a chopping action. So this one I was able to figure out. If you open it and then you tug on the sides here, it will chop. So this guy is massive, looks pretty nice, but does not have the same kind of articulation that the wolf one has. There's no articulation available on any of the legs. It's just one solid piece, unfortunately. But I think it works for this. It still looks pretty cool. And it just came with this regular soldier guy who, like I said, does actually have articulation. You know, he has the ball joints on the legs, on the arms, and he can go up and down. He has a knee joint. So this guy has articulations. He has these hands that are meant to hold weapons, but he doesn't actually come with weapons. So that's a bit odd. I mean, these two soldiers, it kind of doesn't make sense how one actually has articulation and doesn't come with weapons, yet this other one that doesn't have any articulation has weapons. So even side by side, they look kind of off. And I get this soldier guy here is supposed to be kind of crouching, but still, it still doesn't look right. I'm trying to see if you get these guys kind of, give you another shot of them kind of right next to each other. And you could see, like, the lizard is longer. The wolf is definitely taller. And that's probably the better way to give you the comparison. So, and the lizard actually has more weight to it. It doesn't feel as hollow as the wolf. So, I think these are pretty cool. I'm gonna get some other figures here from other lines and kind of give you guys a comparison to see how they fit in. Okay, so I got a few figures there in the background. You could see, got a Black Panther, Marvel Legends, a WWE Elite, Jake the Snake, DC Universe Classic Flash, Black Seagrease Poe Dameron from The Last Jedi, and Unmasked Spider-Man from the Marvel Legends Homecoming Wave. So you can see that these things are still pretty large in comparison to these kind of like 6-inch scale figures. I think one of the things people are probably going to try to do is kind of use these guys as like kind of like vehicles. I don't know where my Deadpool is at the moment, but that's definitely probably the one a lot of people are going to put on these, like have sit on these monsters. And I don't think I think it'll look pretty good. You know, I have Flash here on top of Lizzie, and it doesn't look bad. I'm gonna put him on top of the other one. Doesn't look bad either. Try to put Black Panther on there. That works out pretty well too. So yeah, these are definitely pretty interesting. The wolf one, the one that kind of comes in mind as another way we could use this for is if you want to pose this like with Hela. You're obviously gonna have to do some paint work on this guy, but if I remember, there was like a dead animal wolf thing that Hela was near. I guess it was like a hellhound. So this thing would actually work pretty well for that, size-wise, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think these are pretty cool. I would recommend them. Definitely if you have younger kids, like I could totally see younger kids being into these Rampage figures. At least these monster ones. Maybe not so much the soldiers, but these look pretty cool. So I would go get them if I was you. I mean, in all honesty, they're $14.99, which isn't a bad price. I mean, if this was like $20, I probably wouldn't have gotten it, but $14.99 for something this large and that could scale well with other figure lines, I think it's a good price. Knowing how Walmart kind of distributes some of their exclusive, there's probably a good chance that these will be available in like plenty of them in stock. So you may want to play the long game on them as well to get them a little cheaper, but honestly, $14.99 is not a bad price in my opinion. So I wouldn't hesitate on getting these if you are interested in them. Otherwise, definitely you're not going to get these on clearance probably for at least 3 to 4 months. Probably not even after the movie comes out, and I don't think the movie comes out until, I want to say March, but it might even be a summer movie, honestly. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you later.